Good morning, everyone. I'm Sunaina, and this is our team consisting of Alex, Ed, Karthik, Mohsin, and Zolo. We're here to discuss how we can leverage AI technology to ensure that our team wins the UEFA Champions League. It is one of the biggest football competitions, and we're hoping that the tool that we propose helps the PSG team optimize their training plan and enable the team to improve their performance and finish as winners. Our key recommendations are basically that they invest in the best data collection techniques, as accurate data will ensure that the personalized training program is geared towards success. And secondly, to build the AI tool that will help them improve the performance, as already stated. I'm now handing over to Ed to discuss the impact areas and so on.
Thanks, Sunaina. So in PSG's talent pipeline, training programs promise the best return on investment for AI. Investments in the front end might take too long to pay off. And at game time, coaches just don't have the bandwidth to or the influence to make good use of real-time analytics. Training is a sweet spot in between. Improvements here directly and immediately move the needle on in-game performance. These training programs exist to push players towards their peak performance by targeting specific abilities like ball handling and speed. They're designed based on the coaching team's experience and augmented with existing analytics, but AI technology can bring a new level of insight, enabling coaches and players to spend more time on what matters. Many of the pieces are already in place for this. We have high-quality video feeds from broadcast networks that can be converted to ball and player position data using off-the-shelf solutions. Biometric data like heart rate is easily accessible through wearables. Having ready access to these tools and data streams means less risk, lower cost, and a more reliable return on investment in this area. And with that, I'll pass it over to Alex.
Thank you, Ed. So the use of our AI system is Christophe Gadier, the head coach of PSG. His job is to maximize players' performance through training. Here, the PSG AI coach comes to play. In his daily individual feedback meeting with the player Mbappé, he logs into the tool and has access to Mbappé's training performance score. The tool detected a technical weakness in form of a low passing accuracy. Together with the player, he's reviewing the relevant video material and receives a positive feedback. The tool recommends him passing training 2, which he assigns to Mbappé's individual training plan. Therefore, the AI coach helps him in planning future training sessions and develop a more effective training plan on individual needs of his players. Back to you, Ed.
Thanks, Alex. Benefits for this tool clearly target PSG's main objective of taking home the Champions League, success on the field driven by individual player performance. Costs come in 2 categories. First, there's the upfront cost of building and launching this tool. And then on the second half, ensuring that it is adopted and they can work it into their process and workflows. Over to Mohsin.
Thank you, Ed. Data will be in the form of video, images, binary, and continuous variables. Hence, we decided to go with computer vision and predictive analytics to power our system. Through computer vision, video feed can be broken down into images that can be used to identify patterns using machine vision and image recognition algorithms. An analytic model will be using regression to identify patterns from variables data, which is in the form of binary and continuous variables. Next slide, please. Input data to the computer vision algorithm will be in the form of image and video feed. Input data to the predictive regression algorithm will be in the form of heart rate, blood oxygen, muscle share, muscle strain, and body temperature. Existing broadcast infrastructure will be used to enable computer vision. Variables will be provided to players by PSG to collect the physiological data. Next slide, please. The pattern identified in the algorithm will be shown on the dashboard. We will be showing passing and shooting analysis in the form of sketches, which will be showing the current and the optimal passing or shooting trajectory. We'll also be showing team formation analysis in the form of schematics of squad formation for positional awareness of players and identifying the correct formation strategy. Player performance analysis will be also done in the form of spider graphs, which will be scoring players on various metrics. And finally, we'll be doing an injury probability analysis, which will have input data from variables run through regression models to give the probability of injury for a player. The output data's modality will be in the form of sketches, schematics, graphs, text, and numerical data. The data will help design, training, and fitness regimes for players. I'll hand it over to Karthik now.
Thanks, Mohsin. In the current business process, a live game is played where the coach observes and evaluates players and team performance. Such observations are prone to bias and misjudgment considering the real time nature. After the game, video recordings are reviewed by the coach, players, and training staff. This is a time consuming effort. A comprehensive performance analysis is done, and areas of improvement are identified for individual players and for the team as a whole. Based on this, practice sessions and drills are then planned and conducted. After practice, video recordings are again reviewed by the team to gain more insight and iterate on practice sessions. Now, moving on to the future business process with the AI tool, it's going to save much more time. Video recordings of the live game are fed into the PSG AI coach. Historical footage of all PSG games within a relevant time frame is also fed into the tool for analysis. Advantage is that now PSG can process significantly more footage at a fraction of the time while ensuring more nuanced and comprehensive analysis of these videos. These analysis is used by the coach to plan and prepare for practice sessions. And during the practice sessions, video recordings and data from the wearable tech are fed back into the tool, which gives quicker iterations and improvements on the practice sessions. I'll hand it to Sunena for the organizational structure.
Thank you, Karthik. We've decided that the AI team will be a separate centralized hub. At the top is the chief AI officer who has an internal and external facing role. His external responsibility is keeping the company informed about what's going on in AI, and the internal responsibility is to manage the whole team. The overall team is divided into the data science and the data platform team. We're basically segregating based on similar functionalities. The data science scientists will basically help to close a measurement gap between running the ML models and understanding their impact on the business outcomes. They work closely with the machine learning and data engineers who take raw data from one or more sources and convert and structure it for use. And the machine learning engineers are responsible for implementing the ML models that the data scientists built on prototype and ensuring that these models work at a scale in a production environment. On the other side, we have the product managers who will be responsible for planning and executing the product's lifecycle. And it also includes curating and prioritizing the requirements of the products and customers. And we also have the software engineering team who will basically work to integrate these models and into production systems. I'm now handing over to Zolo to discuss the stakeholder analysis and so forth.
So for our stakeholders, we've identified the power and interest metrics. The CEO and SR, Al-Khalafi, will have the highest power as well as the highest interest. Now, the other members, the coach, board of directors, the AI team, and players will be placed in the metrics as you see. The head coach will have from less power than the CI, but the same level of interest because he'll need to evaluate the outcome of the system and provide continuous feedback and train the algorithms. Now, we also put these stakeholders by their involvement and impact, as you can see from the tables. All teams will be involved and have an impact in the operational side of the project. So for communication piece, we've divided the project into development and implementation, launch, and operational 4 stages, and we put out what needs to be communicated and shared among each stakeholders on these tables. Finally, we've found out there are possibly 3 risks in this project. First one is data ownership. Some players might dispute the ownership of the data collected from them, especially with after resign or get terminated from the club. So we need to have very clear contracts. And secondly, the data leakage and misuse could happen. This is more of an ethical risk. Key players' personal information, physiological data could be leaked. And we need to improve our systems and put a high-end encryption into our systems and databases. And finally, the data quality is another technological risk where historical data focuses on ball movements rather than the whole stadium, which means our algorithm's ability to learn and will be limited. And the actual recommendation could be not up to good levels that are our expectation. To avoid, we'll need to install a 4G, 5G network in our stadium and record games in high quality. Now, this concludes our presentation, and thank you for listening.